Hi everyone, it's Sandra, and I'm out here with Eat My Shorts. I need to make an apology to my worm bins. Because we've been changing places in these worm bins, I have variously been calling this worm bin, which is more of a lighter teal color, both Eat My Shorts and Peekaboo, and vice versa with the other one. So this is Eat My Shorts. I actually went back into my earliest videos to confirm that. All right, so we know that Eat My Shorts now is the one doing the toenail experiment. So I'm going to be checking in on the toenails, which are in this tub. And I guess I can use this tub right here to check on them, see how they've been doing. Now, because I really gave this a good mix last time, I put a banana peel and everything on the top. And look at the pill bug in there, helping out. Cocoons showing up on the surface. There's four of them really visible there. So obviously worms are in eating that banana peel, and let's see if they've gone down and eaten the toenails. So that's 11 days for the toenails. I will put the total of how many days in total the toenails have been in here on the screen. Sorry, I didn't look that up earlier. This container has no holes in it, so the toenails and the fingernails cannot escape. Now, just half of the material is out. You can see the worms here climbing around. We can still see there's a giant toenail there. But, you know, obviously there was a banana peel in here and nice moisture, a little bit of banana peel left. Okay, let me get the rest of the toenails out. You can see them in this tub sitting there on the bottom. It's nice and moist in here. And I want to keep the moisture up in the area where I'm testing how long toenails take to disappear, because the microbes are what's going to do it for the toenails, and then the worms are the cleanup crew. And if I just put them in this open bin, which is in the greenhouse, you can see how dry the surface of this bin works out to be, just open to the air. Look at the cocoons in the toenail area, though. There's another one just sitting there. So obviously the worms have liked the moisture along with probably the greenhouse heat, and they've been busy in here. These are castings that I'm digging out with my fingernail. That's got nothing to do with the bedding source that I put in here or the toenails, though. That is the worms just getting busy on that banana. So this is our toenail area, and unfortunately I can't, I guess I could sift out, very finely sift out, but it's pretty moist. So I'm gonna have to keep my toenail area fairly large like this because because I can't separate now the toenails from the vermicompost, but I want to constrain them. I want to keep them in a dedicated area. So there they are. So we can see when we can no longer identify visible toenails, we'll know how long it takes toenails to disappear in a worm bin. So you are comfortable saying, hey, I've clipped my nails, I'm tossing it in my bins. And I know a lot of you have said you're doing that already. These worms did not get a feeding 11 days ago, and so I was hoping, and they did. They finished up that banana peel, except for that little fragment left. So I'm just going to set these toenails aside. I'm going to do a total bin stir just to make sure that I set these worms up for a big feeding now. Take that worm off the burlap blanket, because I'm moving the burlap blanket actually to a castings tote. So if there are worms on it and they climb into the castings tote, they will be fine. All right, so Eat My Shorts, I'm going to do a total bin stir. We did have some leak ends and everything in here, which is why I didn't feed them last time. So let me just stir up this entire bin. Crunch, crunch. This is that greenhouse heat that I've been posting about. Still drying out the surface despite being covered in brown paper and bubble wrap. The newspaper was put in initially to soak up the excess moisture in this bin, and it is still holding on to some moisture, but I don't think enough moisture. Look there, that is just a dry caked pancake of newspaper. It doesn't have enough moisture now in order for the bin to take care of it. There's some nice vermicompost. Remember the springtails in here, and they are still in here, although sometimes it's hard to tell the springtails from the pulverized eggshells that I add to my bins. But nevertheless, looking good when I stir it up. I think this will help all around. Distribute the moisture, distribute the microbes, distribute the worms. Here's a pile of worms over here where the leaks were. There were some leak ends here. No sign of them anymore. Just again, dryness on the surface. I should know this is Eat My Shorts. It's got a scrap of the shorts material in here that I see every so often. Don't know why I get it mixed up. All right, this dry stuff, the worms are not gonna like that. So this bin obviously needs a feeding, and I need to replenish the bedding. It's a bit dry, so it's a big tote. I'm gonna grab some of this dry stuff that I saw just at the end there, and I'm gonna use this end. There's a road trip fork. I'm gonna use this end over here as my feeding end. Oh, there's a banana peel that's still hanging around. Sometimes banana peels take longer than you think. And so I'm going to use this end to feed in, and when I'm all set and done, I will bury the toenails back there, and we'll put them in for another round. So I'm just grabbing some of this dry carbon on the bottom, and we're going to feed right there. I'm going to give this worm bin a big feeding. It's banana peels again and some onion, unfortunately. So not super tasty. It's still crunch crunch, partly frozen, but I'm going to spread it out over this half of the bin. The greenhouse temperatures will take care of it quickly. And in order to make sure that a large feeding is as safe as it possibly can be, lots of eggshells on top, just to make sure that the worms have calcium available to them. And then I'm going to give them a treat that they'll be able to get into right away. We are using up our organic material that we have put aside. This is leaf mold from maybe even 1.5 years ago that is still not fully processed. It is just a beautiful dampness for our worm bin, and so the worms are going to love it. There's lots for them to munch down on that, because the leaves are already well underway to being processed, and I will inoculate them even more with a little bit of their own castings here, and then we'll dig down here and we will store our toenail experiment. Now, I kind of like that long flat container that I've used for the toenails. And so as long as I keep it nice and level, I think the toenails will do just fine in it. And I will clean out this dish, this old dish that I've had it in, and I will put anything left over in that dish into this container. But I kind of like this long container for the toenail experiment, and every time I go in here, of course, I'm making it more and more material with the toenails. So anyway, we just want a rough estimate of how long it takes worms to eat toenails. So there we go for Eat My Shorts. A nice bedding refresh and a good feeding, and hopefully the worms will continue to make us lots of cocoons. All right, everyone. Bye for now.